today's video is gonna be kind of a rant. Not really. Um, so yesterday, one of my coworkers got fired. I didn't make a video about it yesterday because I wanted to let the shit settle, let it settle a little bit, figure out what happened and stuff. But this dude, oh my God, he was the most insufferable coworker. He was, I God, I just hated working with him. And I didn't really like him personally, but that doesn't have to do anything with work. That's just kind of like, I didn't think he was that good of a person, but that's a whole other thing. Not what we're going to be talking about this fine evening, this fine Friday evening. But this dude, his name, actually I won't say his name. You know. You know who I'm talking about. This guy, he was high on his own supply. Originally, when he first came to the CWC with us, I was like, damn, this guy's got massive ego. Massive fucking ego. But who knows? He might be able to back it up. Um, and he wasn't that bad at the start. He's kind of irritating. He's just a dude with a massive ego. It's like ego's fine, but there's a point. This dude was he was over the point. He was over the line. Um, yeah, I thought maybe let's give him the benefit of the doubt and maybe he could back it up. No, no, he could not. He destroyed some countersink holes and the Wilson guns that we used to countersink them with. It's basically this big gun. It's got a big old fat thing on the end, little cylinder, I guess, and it's got a little metal rod with some, I guess, fins that come out on the side. Like you stick it into the hole, pull down the trigger, it'll lock down. The fins come out, countersink the hole. And then once you're done, it extends back out. Fins come in, you can pull it through the hole. Don't know what this guy did, but he broke two of those. He got the fin stuck in the actual panel, the wing panel. Like he stuck it into the hole. Fins fucking got stuck in. I don't know how you do that. He did it twice. And he also broke like a hand countersink too, which is insane. Those things are so hard to. I've never heard of anyone breaking them. He's the first one I've heard break them. And it was so funny because it's the job. It's you basically got to countersink a whole edge of a panel, and it's a pretty easy job. It takes you a day to do it, but it's not that hard. This dude was talking so much about how, oh, it'll take me 30 minutes. I'll be done in 30 minutes. Watch this. Watch the best mechanic. It'll be done in 30 minutes. This dude, 15 minutes, and he did all that. Fucked up all, like, 20 holes. Like 20 holes. They all had to get CINR out there, or not CINR, what is it? NDI out there. You had to get NDI to inspect it. You had to get composite repair on a bunch of them. It was insane. He messed them up so bad. And then at that point, I was like, all right, this guy's just a buffoon. He's just a freaking chimp throwing shit, pounding his chest, making himself look big. It was just, it was. I was like, this guy doesn't know. He can't talk his shit. But he did like. Originally, I gave him a bit of the doubt because he's like, oh, I've been to all these shops, I've done all this, and then as you talk to him more, you realize, oh, and you get to know him more, you're like, oh, he got kicked out of a bunch of shops because he fucking sucks. That's why he's been to so many shops. He has so much experience because everyone fucking hates him. Just because he's so insufferable and so hard to work with. And that was when we were in the CWC. Then we got sent out to the flight line, and oh my God. That dude, that was his chance. That was his golden opportunity, his golden goose. He was not going to let that opportunity pass up to be a team lead. That was his goal. He wanted to be a team lead just so he could like have a minuscule amount of power over people so he could just lord it over them and fucking boss people around. Um yeah, he wanted to be a team lead so bad. I remember, dude. We had the whole meeting and the crew with the crew and the CWC like the day before we all were sent out there. Immediately just smooching ass. He was trying his hardest to be the team lead. He was smooching cheeks. Smooching fucking cheeks. and trying to like, I don't know, he was just doing too much. And then we get out there the next morning, and he tries to give like a speech, like a rousing speech in the morning. First day, right after our manager talked to everyone, he wanted to give a rousing speech. And let me tell you, I don't remember exactly all the words of it, but uh, that shit was the most self-righteous fart sniffing speech you've ever heard. It was so bad. We talked to the manager later. He was like, "Yeah, dude, I wanted to tell that guy to shut the fuck up." Like that's how bad it was. Even the manager, who's a grown adult, was like, "This dude needs to shut the fuck up. Why is he saying all this?" And then he took like, I guess you could like volunteer to be a team lead, or like be had the option to be selected for a team lead, and oh my god, he was the first one to do it. That guy, like that, he seized his opportunity to try and become a team lead. Yeah, and then he didn't get it. Let's go. Thank God, I don't know what he would have done if he was a team lead. We got three team leads. One of them was good. The other two were like, all right. Um, I won't talk about them. That'll be later video. Video for another day, another story time with Fishman about my work. But yeah, so once we got out there and he didn't get the team lead, he was not a pleasure to be around. He would just kind of just constantly talk it up. He wouldn't shut up about how he should have been a team lead for like a month. It was really annoying. Just didn't. I don't know. I don't want to talk to the guy, so I tried to avoid him as much as possible. And then there was a bunch of other drama. Like he started realizing that nobody would like him. Nobody likes him. And I remember I was sitting there in a break room with one of my buddies from work, and he goes up to the guy. Why don't you like me? Just super low. Why don't you like me? Like, what's the issue? What's the issue? Like, what's wrong? And the dude is like, yeah, man, I don't know, man, don't like you. Like, sorry. He's like, oh, okay. He's like grumbling. He's grumbling, just like talking under his breath, super quiet. And he's like, all right, well, let me shake your hand. And my buddy's like, yeah, no thanks, man. I don't want to shake your hand. And he's like, all right, well, all right. And then he just walks away. It's the weirdest fucking thing. He's just grumbling, mumbling, and then walks away. Okay, dude, like I don't know what that's about. And there was another time, like that's another thing that he would always try and do is he'd always try and drive the vans. No one can like we'd all ride the vans to start out, but then this dude needed to drive the van. And when he couldn't, boy, would he raise a stink. He would take the other guy's vans. He would try and steal the van when we go into work. He'd go back out and he'd grab the keys and like drive it around and shit for no reason, just to drive it around. And it's like, dude, what the fuck? It's a van. We're here to work. Let's just work. Like, we don't need to be doing all this other hoopla, hoo-ha, all this other shit. Like, we all just came here to work. Let us just do our jobs. Why are you fucking messing with the van, stealing, causing all this drama for no reason? For no reason other than he's just off his gourd. I don't know. He's sniffing his own farts. And that blew up. And eventually he made it so, like, we had an assigned van. They're like, all right, you guys get this van. Only one person can sign it out. That person has to drive it around for everyone. And then he, there was one guy who'd always get the van. He'd drive around. He was chill. I like him. But then he went to go sign it out one morning, and then Alex the day before had signed for today, which you don't do that. You just check it out that morning because it's not a big deal. So like, this hasn't been an issue until this guy arrived. But yeah, and then there was a whole thing. They were fighting about it all day. And then this guy was yelling across the flight line for no reason about the van and how it's his and stuff like that. It's like, dude, why are you yelling? It's not that big a deal. And then he's just making it such a big deal. And then eventually we were all like, all right, it's not worth it. And we all just stopped taking the van. Because the dude also, when he would drive the van, he'd fucking put the pedal to the metal and gas it on the flight line. You go like 40 on the flight line. It was like, dude, You could get us all in trouble by doing that. And he's fucking put pedal to the metal and slam on the brakes and pedal. And it's like, dude, you could get us all in trouble by doing this because your dumbass wants to look cool and everyone else thinks you're a bum and a loser. So we just stopped taking the van. We just took the shuttle service. Like, all right, man, whatever. Yeah, and then he just did the van from then on. Like a couple months later, he eventually got like a bunch of attendance cams and stuff and got walked out and fired. But it was like he's just causing a whole stink. He'd say he's the best mechanic, and originally I thought, oh, he's just doing that because he's insecure and he's just doing this to like compensate. But I don't know, dude. This guy was he was on some shit. He was off his gourd, high on his own supply, whatever you want to say. Huffing his own farts, fart sniffer. He's from San Fran. Dude, it was crazy. I think he's genuinely lost in the sauce. He believed his own shit. It's insane how big of an ego this guy had. Like, and this is not hyperbole. I'm not just saying this to like for entertainment. This is the most. He was the most egotistical guy I've ever met. I've ever worked with. I fucking hated it. It it was insane. You could think of the most egotistical person you know, right? Think of him in your head right now. Get an image. Think of him. Think of him. I guarantee this guy is like at least 1.5 times as bad, if not 2 times. I don't know. I can't. I don't get it. I don't get it. But yeah, he got fired a couple months later. Thank God. He got a bunch of attendance cams and stuff like that. I don't know how it. Because he's also a piece of shit. He abuses FMLA. Like the stuff that you're supposed to have if it's a federal mandated or federal medical leave absence, whatever it is. You're supposed to have it if like a family member has cancer and is terminal. Now this dude did it so he could go get hair appointments done and just fuck off for a day. I don't know what he'd do, but yeah, he would fuck off and then just halfway through shift or not show up for shifts, and he would burn through that stuff. And that's eventually what bit him in the ass. Was he ran out of FMLA or used it all up, and then he just kept acting like he had it, and then he got attendance camps for it, which is let's go. That's karma right there. In the wise words of JoJo Siwa, karma's a bitch. Yeah, go watch that music video. It's a real stinker. It's a that's a hot pile of shit right there. Is that JoJo Siwa music video? It's really great if you love just like watching car crashes, like terrible things on your screen. It's great for that. It's like it's pretty bad. Um, but a little tangent there. Yeah, I don't know. He says he has jobs lined up. He says he was a contractor for PMC. That's another thing. Oh my God. He always would like LARP that he was like in Blackwater. He had a fascination with PMCs and like Blackwater and all that shit. It's like, dude, you're a loser. You're a fucking loser. But he would always like act like drills were in holsters and he'd pull them out real quick and point them at you and stuff like that. It's like, dude, what are you doing? We're adults here. We're not like little kids. What are you doing here? Yeah, he'd just always talk about them, how he'd want to join a PMC, how he's worked for them actually, like how he has lots of jobs lined up, and he goes down to Colombia all the time and does private security for like companies and stuff like that. He's just this Billy badass. I I call fib. I think he's lying about all that. I don't think he's done all that. That dude, I think he just tries to act hard. Yeah, it's just I don't know. He just tried to act so tough and stuff and act like he was in a fucking PMC and how he was all this hot shit and how he's done all these military contracts and all this hoopla and he was hooting and hollering about all this shit and so hey, maybe he'll fucking get in a gunfight in a gang with Colombia and die because he lost his job here and now he has to go down there and fight. I don't know. That's probably how he wants to go out. That dude would always not shut the fuck up about all that stuff. And so he just seems like the type of guy to go out in a big old blaze of glory. But knowing him, he'd probably be self-inflicted. Totally just could have escaped, but he just chooses to stay behind just cause. I don't know. It seems like some dumb shit that he would do. Some real dumb shit like that. But yeah, that's probably my story time for today. You got the gist. Real peach to work with. Um, I don't know. I might have another story time. Work story time. Top 10 stupidest things that happen at work. I might make a video like that. I might make a video on how to make $3 million. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'll drop that lore on you. Maybe that info. Cause I'm a high value man and I know how to make $3 million. But yeah, that's about it for today. See ya.